Alright, so today I want to talk about a video that I watched, like a crash video, and the purpose of my video is not to be judgmental, not to point out all the wrong things that this person did or how much he could have done to avoid the crash and what he should have done. I'm emphasizing on that, although I will talk about what he could have done or what we can all do to avoid that sort of thing, right? But I'm not here to judge this particular video. I've seen tons of other videos, tons and tons of crash videos for over the years, even worse than what this person did, people making even worse mistakes than what this person did. But there is something in this video that I really want to talk about. Even though this video, the rider legally, from a legal at fault, is 100% not at fault, not his fault, okay, 100%. But therein lies another problem which I want to talk about in this video, which is screaming out, and all riders need to be aware of this and not do this particular other action that this person is doing in the video. So welcome to my channel where we talk about bikes and Bible verses. As usual, at the end we're going to have a Bible verse, and I hope everyone can stick around until the end of this video to get to that. But this behavior that I'm talking about, it was something that was really drummed into me when I first started riding. And I don't know what it is. Maybe this is the next generation of riders, and they didn't have the YouTube videos that I had and the people talking about this, and so they can blatantly go out and make this mistake.
He's still driving up to like turn into one of these. We don't know. We see this guy. I see there's people way up there. From my own memory, there was a person in the right lane behind me, and I get closer to this guy. I don't see a turn signal. I don't know. But he's in this lane. Looks like he's gonna make this turn right here. Right? He's still pulling up. I look down. Gotta check my speed. I was like, not speeding. Look back up, and he starts turning. Right? He starts turning so early. Usually when you make a turn.
And that is the lack of self-accountability. The lack of self-criticism. Because everything in this video that he's talking about, and like I said, it was 100% the driver's fault. Luckily he has it on camera, because he can go out and get his compensation for what happened to him. I wish him all the best in pursuing this driver and making him pay legally. But at the end of the day, you're a rider. Nothing will be able to compensate you. The best compensation is to avoid crashing. You are not going to get anything after that. Even if you get all compensation in the world, you will not be compensated fully for the trauma of a crash, even if you get millions of dollars. Okay, the pain, the emotional side of it, it's just the best compensation is no crash, no injury, no crash even. But there was a saying that motorcycle riders use, and they say, he was right, he was dead right, but now he's just dead. So what is the point? What is the point of being not at fault? As a rider, you need to be accountable for other people. Take the steps and perceive the mistakes that drivers will make, or even other riders. I always talk about, and riders always used to talk about this sixth sense. You can kind of read what other people are doing. You can kind of look at a situation and say, oh, that's a familiar pattern, I think he's going to do this. And be prepared. I'm talking not just for drivers, but also for riders, other riders on the street that you encounter. And I'll just play you.
I get closer to this guy. I don't see a turn signal. Right? He's still pulling up. I look down. Gotta check my speed. I was like, not speeding. Look back up, and he starts turning. Right? He starts turning so early. Usually when you make a turn,
and like I'm saying, it's very heavily oriented towards the victim mentality and how wrong the other person was, but there was zero or very little self-accountability of what this person can do. And I'm going to talk to you today about what this person could have done And I'm going to start by contrasting his video to this other video.
We see a side of the vehicle, saw a hazard. This person's slowing down and stopping. This is a hazardous situation. Something happened, something happened, something happened. This whole time we've been in orange stage. We're rolling off the throttle. So far, this is a smart rider. Looks back, make sure he doesn't get hit. 360 situation awareness. He recognizes that there's a side of the vehicle. There's an intersection here. We should be in orange stage. I don't like the situation. I'm not going to wait for it to come to me. I'm going to go ahead and prepare myself for it. So he's already slowed down. He's already got weight on the front tire. He's already. Now he's able to brake. Imagine if he was just continuing his speed, he would have hit.
And I grew up, riding career on this guy. DDFM, Motostars, all the other people that critique, in Australia we call it the roadcraft or road strategy. What you can do, what you need to do, what you need to be responsible for as a rider, and that is the avoidance, because you are such a higher risk in terms of injury, and you have the mobility to sort of maybe do things that cars can't do, to escape, etc. So one of the things I want to talk about, which is just blatantly makes it obvious, is the complete lack of awareness. In the video he's pointing out that this guy didn't have an indicator on, but he's ignoring the fact that this car is just sitting in the middle of the road. What is he doing in the middle? What does it mean that he doesn't have his indicator on? What is he doing in the middle of a road? Is he having a picnic? I think the question from a mile away, and literally a mile away, should have been, is this car going to pull out in front of me? Was that the question in this person's mind? From this video, if you find the video, I'll put a link as well. If you find the video, just ask yourself, as this person was driving, was there any question in his mind that that car sitting in the middle of the road was going to pull out on him? I don't believe from the way he was driving there was any question at all. I think this person was completely oblivious. They say you need to ride like you're invisible. Now, I don't really like that analogy. It does work but you can't take it obviously to the nth degree. So the question is, as a rider, if you see something like that, did it cross your mind that this person might pull out on you? And what steps can you take? Was your speed set up so that this person might, pull out in front of you? There's nothing wrong with going less than the speed limit, right? Not to mention stuff like, was his brake set up? Was his hand on the brake? Was he, did he have his brake, suspension compressed, ready for a hard brake? Did he alert the driver? Like I said in another video, that you need to take advantage of what works with humans, and that is like fast, jerky motion. Humans respond to threat. If they see some fast, jerky or flickering motion, even if it's in the corner of their eye and they're not looking at you, they will see you. So maybe make a little movement from left to right in your lane a mile away, and they will see you, they will perceive you, because humans are ingrained to think if they see some flickering motion, like if you flash your brake lights or if you make some jerky movement or something like that, people will notice you because maybe a threat, and it gets their attention. If you're just sitting there driving along and you're in your own little world, then they're not going to see you. And all of that aside, setting up your brakes and making them see, all of that aside, the main thing you can do to prepare is to simply reduce your speed, right? I don't care if you're going 15 miles less than the speed limit. Speed does not only have a squared effect on your braking distance, like an exponential effect, right? It's not linear. If you're going 20 miles, right, you stop at 10 meters, and 40 miles you're going to stop at 20 meters. It doesn't work like that. It's exponential. 20 miles is 10 meters, 40 miles is 60 meters. There's an exponential. There's the reaction to you're covering way more distance in that 0.3 second reaction time. Not to mention the speed that you're still carrying while you're decelerating. It's an exponential effect. braking distance is exponential. It's not linear. Okay, so dropping like 15 miles off the speed limit can do like, I don't know, maybe 30, 40, 50 feet of difference in your stopping. And the other thing about speeding, forget about braking distance that I just talked about, it has a combinational effect on avoiding an accident, right? It's not just the braking distance. It's people react to seeing you more. If you weren't going so fast, people will react. You will react. You will perceive things better. Like, you won't have that effect of, 1 second you're not there, next second you're there. That's the effect that you get on speed. The time it takes for someone to check their mirrors and then look back and then actually change lane. Like, people aren't looking while they're changing lane. They look, they have a judgment of everyone's speed around them. If there's no one there, they will change lane. If you're doing twice or 3 times the speed limit, you weren't there when they looked, and that was only a second ago, right? And don't say this car pulled out on me, right? You weren't there according to them. If you weren't going so fast, then you wouldn't have been there. If you were going at a steady pace, they will see you there. By the time you get up to them, they'll be like, oh yeah, this person's there. You'd be surprised how many riders don't get that. They don't even get it. One thing, and this even comes up statistically, like, this is evidence-based literature. It's not speeding in terms of just going over the speed limit. It's going too fast for the situation, right? You could be going slower than the speed limit, but still be going too fast for the situation, right? I want to ask you a question. Let's say you're on a highway, 2-lane highway, right? And it's 60 mile an hour speed limit, 100k, right? One lane, let's say, is completely blocked up with traffic. The second lane is completely free. Do you think it's okay for you to be going the speed limit, 60 miles an hour, when one lane's completely stationary, you're in the next lane going the speed limit? If you think that that's okay, then you should not be riding a motorbike if you want to stay safe. If you don't want to stay safe, that's a different story, right? Speed differential, the difference between my speed and the speed of the people around me, right? Including people that may be wanting to cross my path, intersections. They're driving, but they're driving in a different direction. Relative to your speed, they're stationary. And they're stationary and they're crossing your path. They're moving laterally across your path, right? You need to be aware of, is there a potential of that speed differential close to you? And not to mention, if you do crash, there's a massive difference between crashing at 10 miles an hour and crashing at 30 miles an hour in terms of injury. But there are just things that can make you a magnitude times more safer. Awareness of your driving, getting the right speed, and having the skills will just make you magnitudes, like maybe hundreds, compare you and a person next to you 100 times more safer. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. Let's just end with a Bible verse here. It's from Matthew chapter 12, verse 35-36. It says, a good man brings good things that are stored up within him, and an evil man will bring out evil things that are stored up within him. But I tell you that everyone needs to give an account for every empty word that they have spoken. So I have a YouTube channel. I speak a lot. I have a lot of words. I need to be accountable to what I say. Is what I'm saying meaningful, purposeful? Is it slanderous? Is it just empty? There are a lot of empty things. There are a lot of empty words happening. And the reason it starts in this Bible verse is saying that it comes from within. Like, you can't just, okay, I'm saying a lot of empty words, I should stop that. That's not how it works. If you're saying empty words because you're empty within, and you need to get out of that. You need to do things that build you up spiritually. Things like prayer and connecting with God, and not just that, doing things that have virtue, in this life will fill you up, will make you not be empty, and you'll find yourself not speaking empty, slanderous words that do nothing but maybe hurt other people, destroy other people, and on Judgment Day will destroy yourself. And you know, you feel pretty bad, you feel pretty crap about saying empty words anyway. So anyway, that's all I've got. I hope you like this video. If you like it, don't forget, hit the like button. That helps my channel. If you have any comments, if you like my content in general, please subscribe and take it easy and ride safe.